Hey guys, welcome to Mom Minutes. And today we are talking about homeschooling again and kind of our why of homeschooling. So this is my good friend Tammie Jurek, and we have been homeschooling together for 17 years. So a whole, probably like 5 or 6 families moved here to Texas, to the Woodlands and Conroe area all together, like the same year. Like around Christmas time. You were already here.
I was here.
That's right. That's right. You guys
2000.
came a couple years earlier. So she's kind of the one that pulled us all in, I think.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Actually, it was Robin that pulled us in.
Okay. And she's lived
She
here
was
all her
here.
life.
Yeah, she was here forever.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So we've all done really life together because pretty much all of us live away from our parents and our family, and so we do holidays together and we've homeschooled together. Our kids are good friends, and so it's just been a really special 17 years.
Yep,
Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
yeah. Okay. So tell me why you chose to homeschool.
We chose. I never really chose it. It chose me. When Joshua was 3 years old, that's our oldest.
Okay, and tell how many kids you have before
I have 4.
You have 4.
Josh is 26. Megan's 25. Timothy will be 23 this weekend, and Christopher's 21.
Okay.
So when Joshua was 3, he came and said, "Mom, will you teach me to read?" And I
Okay.
said, "No, you wait till you're 5 and go to school."
I refuse.
And I refused. I didn't like school. And he was persistent.
Okay.
So a friend of ours, and we were living in Ohio at that time,
Okay.
gave me a book. Says, "Teach your child to read in 100 easy lessons."
Mhm.
And that child was reading in 100 easy lessons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so he was the one who got the journey started.
Okay.
And but we began homeschooling really because of our heart to disciple our children.
Okay.
We really felt the time that is spent in school is so long, and so much time is invested in them that would not be us, that we thought homeschooling could be an avenue for us to truly know our children, know how they're wired, their bents, and be able to direct it in the directions that they need to go to grow better.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because we thought we were great scholars and had academics down. It was our heart for our children.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah.
And her husband actually is very academic.
Well,
and
yeah, he
is
is.
the physics teacher for
True.
a lot of our kids. He was their physics teacher. So
True. I was not the academic.
me either. So
I was the fun person.
that is so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you like about homeschooling? And you might have already kind of said that, but
A little bit. I did. I loved the idea that I was able to know my children, the good, the bad, ugly, and also be able to tailor make what each one needed.
yeah,
Because in homeschooling, you find out that one curriculum or one style does not fit all.
right.
And the more kids you have, the harder it is to hit it.
Yeah,
So you really have to be flexible to find something that fits for your kids. And so homeschooling allows you to do it.
right.
Homeschoolers are notorious in the eyes of the public that we are unsocialized. And that's not really true. It has
No.
everything to do with the parents and
Yeah.
what they do with their children. And
Right.
so for me, being a party planner, it just lent towards applying that to our homeschooling endeavors. And of course, I pulled everybody in, all our friends,
Yeah.
and we had a lot of great times
We
in our
did.
homeschooling experience.
Yeah, yeah. We used to do park day like every Friday and we look forward to that more than I think
Just
maybe
about
our
anything.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
me
we
too.
drug our kids along until they were
Yeah.
7th or 8th grade, I think, and
Yeah.
they were kind of just sitting around
Yeah.
watching us
Look
have a
at-
good time.
We had a good time. But we also did talent shows. We pulled
Yeah.
together the homeschool community and we developed talent shows. We made our own little skits and we did musicals together.
Right.
And I think the highlight was going to Schlitterbahn.
Yes.
We would go. We went several summers in a row and
Yeah.
took our kids. And I think a lot of deep friendships were born out of just our experiences of doing life together.
Right. I agree. Okay. Well, if you could change anything about your homeschooling experience, what would you change?
I probably would have got more organized.
Okay.
I found for me, I struggled with keeping a schedule, and oftentimes we'd get behind on something or we forget to do something, and then I feel like, oh, we got to go back and do it. But that would be one thing. The other would be it's real easy to fall into comparing yourself to other homeschoolers.
Right.
But to keep in mind that each family is like their own pioneering persons, because every child is different. You have to discover that.
Yeah.
And it's easy to look at somebody else's family and go, well, maybe that or that and that, and we'll just adapt ourselves to that. But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it doesn't work. Elements could be the same, but ultimately, your kids are all individuals, and so the journey is knowing your child and studying them, finding out their bents, and then tailor making to it, because you can.
Right.
So.
Right. That's great. Was there a specific curriculum that was just like your favorite?
I had different ones at different stages.
Okay.
I think when my kids, well, no, I couldn't use it the same. One that I like for one of my children is sing, spell, read, and write.
Okay.
That's how I taught my musical child phonics.
Yeah.
And how to start to read. It was because I couldn't figure out any other way to help her.
Yeah.
As they got older, I loved IEW.
Okay.
Which is the Institute in Excellence in Writing.
Right.
Because I learned how to write in English, because I really didn't know all the grammar rules, and now I learned a lot of it through the curriculum. So, but I think our greatest curriculum that we enjoyed was using history as our basis. So we did things like Tapestry of Grace, Mystery of History, Veritas.
Yeah.
It was more a classical approach, but it used history as your timeline of everything that you could learn as you're moving from creation on to the present day. So we used that. That was my favorite. I don't know if my kids would say that was their favorite, but that was mine.
Have they had any comments now that they're, definitely not in school? Have they had any comments about what they liked, what they didn't like, what they would do differently? Have they said anything?
All of them were grateful that we were they were homeschooled.
Okay.
In fact, they're glad they were homeschooled.
Okay.
I think all of them would say they learned how to think. We used a lot of logic, teaching skills, and my husband did apologetics. We would do our devotions and give them a foundation of how to think. And so I think that was something that they're all appreciative of.
Yeah.
And I think another thing is, because we're homeschoolers and we're Christian homeschoolers, having a biblical foundation weaved into our homeschooling, they've come back many times and thanked us for that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
you're
coming.
Welcome. I'm glad I was asked.
She is one of my dearest friends. So we've had a lot of fun together. So.
Yep. And I hope we have a lot more.
Yes. We also traveled together. So.
Yes. And we might do more of that.
Right.
Without kids.
Oh, yeah. Don't tell them that. All right. You guys have a good night.